Alrighty everyone, welcome back. Happy Saturday everybody. I hope you're all having an amazing weekend so far. And given that there's been a lot of things happening between Disney and Lucasfilm, as well as the executives and the CEO Bob Iger, really coming together to figure out exactly what the future of Star Wars really holds in order to really turn things around by the hands of Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, as well as Tony Gilroy, by the way, who is going to be working on more projects besides Star Wars Andor Season 2. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. And without further ado, let's get right into the subject. Now, we know that Kathleen Kennedy, over the past couple of years, has made a lot of mistakes with the sequels, with Kenobi and Boba Fett, and let's not forget about the latest, Mando Season 3. She really got heavily involved with this in the script and the writing process. She wasn't as involved, surprisingly, in Season 2, because that was really Jon and Dave's big moment to really kind of gain their limelight and to do what they wanted to do with Luke and everything that they wanted to do with Ahsoka and all the different cameos such as Bo-Katan and Boba Fett. So they really wanted to focus on that to really make that one very well established. But going in here, this is where things begin to get a little bit more complex because Kathleen Kennedy is pre-planning something, and we talked about this lightly before in the past. However, with many new Star Wars projects in the works by Disney and Lucasfilm, creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are beginning to work on their new Star Wars movie. Now, it's described that Kathleen Kennedy is already planning on something big for her career in the film industry. As of now, Kennedy is planning to quit Lucasfilm entirely and everything Star Wars eventually in order to pursue her own production company that goes under codename Starlight. This company that she is putting together is described to be the first competitor against all things Star Wars, Trek, and Dune, as well as other sci-fi epic brands. This is another reason why Disney executives have been very unhappy with Kennedy, as she is technically pre-planning a competitor against Star Wars when she's still hired and still running some aspects of the franchise still to this day. Even though Kennedy is fully aware that she might be fired anyway by this August, depending on the performance of Indy 5, she is reportedly doing everything that she can to make Indy 5 perform better than it already would be by re-editing and doing everything that she can with the editors for the movie on board so that she can actually stay at Lucasfilm until 2024, while also working on her plan to quit the company later on while working on her own production and staying relevant at the same exact time. So let me just put things a little bit more simple here, is that basically Kennedy is hoping that she does not get fired by this August so she can stay relevant in the film industry by working on Star Wars and actually having a job at the time, but while also building her own production company and also staying relevant. Now, look, I'm not quite sure if you could really say that Kathleen Kennedy is relevant anymore. You know, maybe way back when she was working on all those big movies, Back to the Future she had involvement with, and a lot of big hit Hollywood films, but let's remember that even back then, she never really had full creative say in the matter of those movies. It's like today, she really butts in with the creative process of things and gets in the way of the writers and the directors, and this is becoming more and more common with her. It's exactly why she did what she did with Mando Season 3, the sequels, all those different things. So when you look at stuff like this, the fact that she is building Starlight Productions still, by the way, we've been talking about this for about a year now, it's been an on and off discussion, and it is still happening. She wants to create her own thing to stay in the film industry because she doesn't want to stay at Lucasfilm forever anyways. Getting fired or not, she wants to do her own thing and build her own empire, basically, is what it sounds like. So when you think about this, Kathleen Kennedy has been in this business for decades. She's been around for like ever. So what better way for her, in her mind, to really kind of kick things off by really making her own legacy by starting off her own production company. Now again, Starlight is not the official name. This is just the code name of her production company that she's working on. And this is her plan to really kind of just do something different. Now, on a side thing here, alright, we know that she wants to do something a little bit crazy, and let's get into that right now. Kennedy is already seeking ex-Lucasfilm employees and even current ones that fully support her and Leslie Headland's vision. As a matter of fact, she is looking to hiring writer Leslie Headland to become a part of the Starlight Company to make big sci-fi hits against Star Wars, Dune, and Trek. Bob Iger has been very uneasy about this, and is another reason why the executives want her out ASAP. Now, look, the executives have valid reasons why they would be very frustrated with her. Imagine running a business, and you have somebody hired running that business, and basically creating their own competitor against it. Now, I don't really know why Disney can't really fire her for that alone. Obviously, there's something concrete in her contract, or she has some kind of polls that she's actually doing behind the scenes. That's very unclear. I know her contract is a very complex one of the most complex ones out there, so there might be, various strings in there that cannot be cut so easily. But when you look at stuff like this, I mean, it really just goes to show you that she is, in a way, betraying Star Wars right now as we speak by creating a competitor prematurely. Now, the agreement with other executives is keeping her as, pretty much president of Lucasfilm unless Indy 5 comes to be a big failure at the box office and a mixture of bad fan reception. This is something that Kennedy hopes will not be the case, and is why she is scrambling with the editors to really kind of re-edit Indy 5 and really kind of make that movie better than it already is currently. And yeah, I mean, look, I'm all for Harrison Ford. I support the guy 100%. I don't want to be pessimistic about this movie just for the sake of being pessimistic, but let's be real here. It's a Kathleen Kennedy movie at the end of the day, and it is a movie that's going to change the Indiana Jones lore. She herself even said this, the Dial of Destiny, the title alone, and basically the overall plot is about essentially kind of undoing some aspects of the Indy lore. She really alluded to that a couple of weeks ago, and that worried a couple of fans out there. In fact, a lot of fans, I should say. So, this is interesting. I mean, to say the least, there's a lot of things happening right now with, the whole time, constraint with Indy 5, getting things done as fast as they can, trying to really re-edit this thing to make it as, attractive as possible is probably the best word I could describe it as. They want to make sure that this is going to attract the audience. Now look, you can attract the audience all you want, but you have to have good writing, you have to have good dialogue, good cinematography. The reason why I think that they're re-editing this movie around and rearranging scenes has a lot to do with maybe the pacing was very off. And that's usually what happens when they want to rearrange a lot of scenes there. They want to improve the pacing. So that's already a big red flag, and that really just goes to show you that on June 30th, this is going to be a very big telltale of what's going to happen to Kathleen Kennedy, so cross your fingers. Anyways, guys, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.